Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another special edition show. I am your girl, Leo Rochelle, and we are interviewing the nominees of the Gospel Choice Music Awards happening this June in Atlanta. We have the honor of hosting the red carpet events last year at the Gospel Choice Music Awards, and baby, they were bomb. So today we get to interview our special guests, Brian Erby and JKells, who are honorees at this year's Gospel Choice Music Award. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing started and get rolling because I know y'all want to know the answer to all these questions. Okay. Good evening. Good evening. How y'all doing?
All right.
Y'all
How
hear
are
me
you?
Doing
okay?
awesome, man. How y'all doing?
I am good. I cannot complain and it wouldn't help anyway. So,
Exactly.
so listen, Brian, you
Yes,
were
ma'am.
nominated for a gospel industry award, right?
Yeah, not
Okay.
nominated, not
I'm
necessarily.
sorry, you're
Yeah,
the honoree.
yes, ma'am.
All right. So is this your first time being honored at the Gospel Choice Music Awards?
Oh, yes, ma'am. It is.
Oh, okay, awesome. And you are being honored. And um, JKells, what about you? Is this your first time being at the Gospel Choice Music Awards?
Yes, it is. It's gonna be my first time, and I'm excited about it. We ready to come out there and just have a good time, man. Network with people and just have a great time. Yeah.
Okay. So for the both of you, what kind of inspired you to get into the gospel industry?
I guess I can go first.
Okay.
What inspired me is really my walk with Christ. Knowing that everything bad and everything good that I've learned about the music business over the years, um, I felt like the most need was probably in gospel music. As far
Okay.
as not working together, be trying to become what God called us to be, and that's one body working together. um that's how did I get into it. Of course, my call from God, but really just dealing with music for a lot of my life. uh Gospel's always been my first love, so
Okay.
being able to work with the artists and work with the music that I love has been a passion of mine and has become that. So doors have been open. I started out secular, actually, on the secular side.
Okay.
Uh, but then, God was like, hey, come work with my people. And then when I realized who his people were, they weren't all gospel either,
Hmm.
you know? So how did I get into it? That's a hard question for me. I know I just probably gave you about five answers, but I don't like to put genres on music. I feel like God make all music. We decide what we want to put behind the words and who we want to emphasize to, and who are we trying to influence. I feel like all music is God inspired though.
Okay. Okay. And what about you, J. Kells?
For myself personally, well, first off, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
No
Thanks for the
problem.
invite. Shout out to my man, Brian Erby. I think me and him met several years ago in
Yeah,
Vegas, man. Stellar Award Showcase. I ain't seen or talked to him in a minute, but good to
yeah.
see you. But my answer was I pretty much grew up in church, and God laid it on my heart. It was a group that came to our one of our youth events that we had called the Lord's Footmen, and they actually did fraternity style stomping along with rapping. And so God laid it on my heart, like, you know what? I can do that. We don't have to keep bringing somebody else in to minister to our youth. Something I can do. That was my mindset back at the time. So I started rapping and started writing and doing that type of things just to encourage the youth just in my local church. And from there, God opened up, doors and opened up avenues, to travel all over the place. And that was pretty much my inspiration and why I started doing gospel music, gospel rap, gospel music, however you want to, put it.
That's awesome. Excuse me. And so, for the both of you, you said you kind of grew up in church, and that's where you started, and that's kind of what led you on the path. So, who are some of your inspirations as you've grown through this time frame from being a youngin up until now? Who have been some of your inspirations?
You can go, bro. You
Oh,
can go.
cool. As far as me, like I said, yeah, I grew up in church. My parents had me in church, but I was exposed to all types of music. So as far as influences, I have influences all the way from the LaShawn Pace Rose, R.I.P. She just passed. Daryl Coley, Kirk Franklin, Fred Hammond, all the way to Canton Jones and the Little Rascals and one of the pioneers, Pastor Stephen Wiley, all the way over to I'm in Louisiana, so of course Juvenile and Lil Wayne and Master P and those guys, were major influences on our sound, where we come from. And I also have love a lot of neo soul music, also some music Soul Child and Lauryn Hill, and, and
Yes.
and so I
Okay.
got a pretty eclectic flavor as far as it comes to inspirations as far as music.
And I like how you added a little bit of everything in there. You said juvenile, Master P, neo soul, music, soul child, and all of that. So it does bring a well-rounded type of view and brings different sounds to the music. If you are an artist and you aren't listening to other music outside of your genre,
Mhm.
then can you really call yourself a well-rounded artist? Because you got to be able to pick up on a bunch of different things and hear a bunch of different sounds in order to bring new sounds, in order for people to pick up on what you're trying to bring to the industry. And so I love that you said neo soul, and you said you're in Louisiana. So if you didn't say juvenile or any of them, I would have had some concerns and questions. Okay,
I
I was
know it. I feel you. I feel you, man. Also, my man PJ Morton too. My man PJ Morton doing this thing right now too. He from New Orleans. Yeah, definitely him too. Okay,
like,
I'm
okay,
good. I'm
okay.
good.
And what about you, Mr. Erby?
Um, Anybody that has stepped outside of themselves to become what God has called them to be inspires me. I could list a bunch of names because they've stepped outside of themselves, but there's a bunch of people that still haven't, and I hope to be an inspiration to them as well. Sometimes it just take knowing somebody in order to get your fuel, your train running too. So instead of me saying names, which I'm so grateful for the names that have come before me, um, other than Christ Himself, we're just names to God. We're numbers actually, and we just must fulfill that number or that task or assignment that He's given us. So inspiration comes from like both of you stepping out of yourself to become and do what God has called you to do.
There we go. I'm muted. But yes, I understand that. And so as you both have grown in the industry and you've picked up on a bunch of different things, who has been your greatest influence in the industry, or out, not necessarily in the gospel industry, but in the music industry within itself?
I'll start with Devin if you don't mind. My greatest influence, uh, I would probably say my uncle Alan Johnston, the music
Okay.
specialist, 50 years in the music business. He's probably been my greatest influence, my greatest support. Uh, Other than my own learnings and teachings of just different things and conferences, anytime they say music business, you should be want to be in the room. So, well, definitely my uncle Alan Johnston.
Okay. And what about you, Jay?
Big facts. I agree with everything he just said, especially about the music, the business part of it, because more people need to learn the business side of it. But as far as inspirations, um, outside of music, well, in music as well, because they sing as well. Definitely my family, my mom, my aunts, my wife. Um, I come from pretty much a musical family. They either
Okay.
sing or something like that. And then various people in the industry. As well. But definitely my main impacts have been my family and definitely my kids. Seeing my kids how they um, listen, they hear my music and how they respond to it, and like, Daddy, we want to do that too. Daddy, we can do that too. Just
Mm-hmm.
knowing that God uses me to influence them in a positive light and be light and be that example for them. That gives me a lot of inspiration also.
And that's awesome. I think it's an amazing thing to be able to um, do what you love, but also influence the people around you to tap into that part of themselves, or even if it's not for them to go into the music industry, that they are still inspired to step outside of their comfort zone to do what they love to do. So I love that you said that your kids are actually um, inspired and are able to kind of hop into what you're doing and do more. So I love that. Brian, so how long have you been in the industry, and can you share some of the greatest lessons that you have learned?
I have been in the industry since 2003.
Okay.
I guess that makes almost 19 years, maybe
Hmm.
somewhere in that matter. The greatest lessons I've learned is number one, be true to yourself, because not being true to yourself will lead you around some other untruthful people. And now
Okay.
you're operating in something that you have no business in, and you're only going to get deeper in it.
Hmm.
Uh, the second thing I can give you is, while being true to yourself, make sure that you have your plan together. Whenever approaching anybody to help you about anything or to even see your vision, you have to have a plan. And it has to be so visual that if you laid it out on paper, you could take it off of paper and put it right in a movie. So another thing I've learned is be as expressive as you can with whatever you're trying to do in this business. If you want C minor, say C minor. If you want A, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, A sharp, whatever it is, you have to be very specific. And the third thing, and I'm gonna leave you with this one, is make sure that you're very trustworthy. Make sure that your integrity is to the highest level that it could ever be, because not only is Jesus watching you, but so many other people are too. And I think that's what the industry lacks right now. It lacks integrity. That's how we can, do the things that we're doing. Be so gimmicky right now, where it's almost like we don't even have a face anymore, because everybody is gimmicky, streaming and buy these and buy that and buy those. And it's gotten so much away from real talent. What happened to the real talent? The talent that was used to line up at the Apollo and try to get on that stage, and the ones, the American Idols, even though that's a fantasy too. But what happened to that? I think
Mhm.
we've gotten so far away from that. All I got to do is be able to sing a little bit now, maybe rap a little bit now, play a beat in the background and go on TikTok and I'm a star. Nah, there's no work in that, because then when they get to the stage, they out of breath. You know, you have to truly really be an artist. This is something that people see as superficial. When we're kids and growing up, we want to dress up and be super people, but we forget what really super is when it's time to do it. And a lot of these artists are not doing that right now. So I don't even know where I'm at. But the third thing I want to leave you with is just be true to yourself. Be ethical. Treat others how you really want to be treated. Just because money is involved don't mean we got to be shady towards each other. It is what it is. If Georgia Power don't pay you, you don't pay Georgia Power, they're gonna cut your power off. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? If you enter an agreement with somebody, just be honest. You know. So yeah, those are the things I've learned, and I take pride in that myself. I feel like in order to be a change in this industry, I have to try and be as close to that as possible. No, I'm not perfect. No, you'll catch me on a Monday, and I may not be just as I was on Tuesday, but I'm gonna be close to as I was on Tuesday. Meaning I don't try to change much. I just try to be real, love everybody, and help anyone I can.
All right. I love it. I love it. What about you, Jay?
Yeah, one of them I'm definitely gonna pick up on one of the things he just said is definitely about integrity, because you run into that so many times. People that lack integrity and people don't want to keep their word, don't honor their word no more. Um, so definitely work on integrity. I would say stay prayed up. Learn the voice of God, learn the voice of the Holy Spirit, because He will tell you, hey, you don't need to go this direction. Hey, you don't need to follow this person. You need to go this way. Yeah, this person showing you a lot of this flash and all this kind of stuff, but they ain't about nothing. You need to sit with this person over here, listen and learn from them. And also, well, I just said it, learn. Be willing to continue to learn, no matter what levels you go to, no matter how far you make it, it's always another level that you can learn and strive for. So definitely keep learning. Don't think you know everything, because one person doesn't know everything. It's like I say, it's always something else that you can learn. Even though you may have found success in this area, okay, well, you might need to, God might call you over here to this way. So somebody from over here you're gonna have to learn from. So that's those are things that I've learned. Be willing to stay learning, stay a student, and also deal with integrity. Let your word be your word, and keep that, and that'll take you open more doors for you as well, and help you fulfill what God has called you to do.
Well, all right. I love that. I love that. Um, and I love the fact that you said be teachable. That's in any industry.
Yes,
Any industry, you have to be
yeah,
coachable and teachable and be willing to be flexible because what you may have started out learning may have changed over time. And so you got to be willing to learn something
facts.
new, or even if it's not new, you got to be able to learn how to adapt and change and go with the flow. And I think sometimes we get so caught and set in our ways that it makes it a lot harder for us to become teachable, coachable, and adaptable, even in like 30s and 40s. And we know our older people, it's a lot harder for them. And so some of us, even 30s and 40s, it's hard for us. So I love that you said that. And that's definitely one of the things that I think is really important is to make sure that you are teachable and coachable and adaptable, because that'll take you further than even just skill itself, you know.
Yes.
So for the both of you, what is it that you want people to take away from your work?
I guess I'll take this one first. As far as my work, I want people to know that I God has given me a heart for people, a heart to help people, to uplift people. That's one of the veins God has um, brought me into, as far as being that light to uplift people and to be happy, to be positive.
Yeah.
You listen to a few of my songs that I have. We gonna dance a little bit.
I
we
was
gonna
gonna
we
say I
gonna
saw you
move. We
bopping
gonna
a little bit
you know
as we got started, you was over there
you
bopping.
know
You was
that's
ready.
that's what God that's the vein God has called me to do. And for years I tried to be like other people. I tried to be, okay, I want to do this, because this person getting success doing this, or this person making it doing this. But I had to realize, okay, I got to do what God has called me to do. Be true to myself, be true to who God made me. And then that's when I found a lot of peace, and people were like, yeah, we like that. That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, keep doing it. So I want people to do that, and also definitely to feel and experience the love of Christ, and let them know that no matter what you're going through, no matter what situations arise, you can make it out. God will bring you out. He will do it. He's done it time and time again. And so that's what I want people to get from my stuff.
Awesome. What about you, Brian?
Well, I want the very thing that I want is to know, for people to understand and know that even being unperfect, you still can be used by God. And that's the main thing, even having the things that people look down on, even going through situations and becoming a person that you're not, even doing and being in places that you shouldn't be in, God still can use you. So,
Mhm.
so what I would like them to get from, the things that I do is knowing that care is probably more important to me sometimes than love, because you can love a person but not care about them. But I don't think you can ever care about somebody and not love them. So I want them to know that I care. And sometimes care will take that drug dealer. It'll take that child that's been abused. It'll take, anybody and everybody that's physically went through anything, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and add more confidence to them. So that's what I want them to get from my work, that I care about each and everything that we're talking about, what we're doing, and hopefully we can get together where God is trying to take us.
Well, all right, all right, all right, all right. So with all of what you guys have said and everything that you've learned from the industry and that you're bringing to the industry, and to be nominated or to be an honoree at the Gospel Choice Music Awards, um, what can people expect at the award show from you guys?
Myself personally, I would love to connect with a lot of people. Of course, a lot of networking, things like that. As far as performances. I'm not sure about performances or anything like that yet, but like I said, I definitely will be there, networking to meet people,
Okay.
definitely exchange numbers and that type of things, and social media and all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
Being the same person every day, showing the love of God to every person I meet, and always lending a hand where I can help a hand. That's what you're gonna get from me.
Alrighty. And so, with that being said, you guys, how can people connect with you and support you?
One Nation Under God Records, One Nation Under God Records, One Nation Under God Records.
Okay, is that on all platforms?
On all social media platforms, One Nation Under God Records.
Alrighty, alrighty. And JKells, what about you?
Oh, social media, JKells 318. That's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. JKells 318 is the music page. My personal page where I do a lot of stuff. Also, Joseph JKells Kelly, that one as well. Also, the apparel line me and my wife have at BSFLW. That's blessings flowing like water. We have I Believe God shirts. I believe God, and also blessings flowing like water as well. So that's where you can contact us. Hit us up.
Okay. I like the name. Blessings flowing like water. I like that. And then even the shirt you got on, it looks like the water is flowing on your shirt. So I like that. I like that. So make sure you guys check out both Brian Erby and JKells on all social media platforms. And if you are in the Atlanta area, that you check out the Gospel Choice Music Awards coming next month, June 24th. So make sure you get your tickets. Make sure you go online to see all of the information about the Gospel Choice Music Awards. We will be doing more interviews with more of the honorees coming soon. And you know how to check us out. Make sure you go to the JQLM radio page to keep abreast of all of the things that we got going on and all of the interviews, because we only do special edition when we're doing something with some special people. So make sure you go to the JQLM radio page, download the JQLM radio app, or you can listen on Alexa, or you can go to the TuneIn app. Listen live 24/7. Listen, because JQLM radio is going to bring you all of the dope music every way possible, so you can listen live 24/7. Make sure you download the app on Google and tune in for iPhone users. All you have to do is type in JQLM radio and it'll come right up for you. I am your girl, Leo Rochelle, the host of the Fat Girl Chronicles, where we get all up in your business and discuss the topics that matter to us most each and every Tuesday from 8 to 10 p.m. And you can check us out at the Fat Girl Chronicles on all social media platforms. And if you would like to be a guest, hit us up. But this is the JQLM Radio special edition interview with the Gospel Choice Music Award honorees. And we out, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace. Thank
God
you,
bless y'all.
fellas.
Thank y'all.
Good evening. Be blessed.